everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and this is my Pixel XL. I've been using this since the day it came out, and I've been using it without a case, and I wanted to use it and show you what I think about it, and share with you my experience over the past few months. Now, most of you know me as an iPhone user, and here's my iPhone 7 Plus for comparison, just to give you a size idea. It's a little bit smaller, but has a similar screen size. Now, the thing is I carry this phone along with me. This is on Project Fi, and I carry it with me with the iPhone 7, so I use it every single day. This is really a phenomenal Android phone. It gets all of Google's latest updates. They update it regularly, at least monthly for security like they did the Nexuses. It's not my favorite design overall, but the actual experience is the best I've had. My favorite design actually goes to the Nexus 6P, just due to the way it feels in the hand. It's got a really nice edge, and I like it a little bit better than I do the Pixel XL. That said, though, this is a phenomenal phone when it comes to Android. The design is pretty plain, but very simple and well made. It's aluminum, as you might know, and it actually is pretty durable. I dropped it once on concrete, and it's actually the first time I've ever dropped a phone on concrete, and it's been many years, but I was actually sliding this into my pocket and missed. I normally use my right front pocket for my iPhone and my back right pocket for the Pixel, and I actually missed somehow and it slammed into the concrete of my garage. So you'll see there's some marks here. So right there's some marks on the top, and then where it actually hit here on the bottom, that's all it did. It didn't really do anything to the display. It doesn't have a screen protector on it, anything. I like to use these how they were made. Now you'll see there's some wear on the glass right here, just from setting it down. It's not really a big deal, but it's no longer glossy in these corners where it actually makes contact with whatever surface you're placing it on. And normally this isn't in my pocket. It's actually in a bag that I carry with my laptop, things like that. So this isn't the same. It's not rubbing when I'm walking, anything like that. This is just sliding this in and out, setting it on a table and using it. And I think it's holding up pretty well, although most people will probably want a case. Now, the phone experience itself is really great. It pretty much never stutters. It never slows down. It's always super fast and does what I want it to do. If I slide over here to Google Now, it's just really, really fast. There is no lag. It's just super quick and no problems whatsoever. Keeps your weather updated. This is the stock skin and also the stock wallpaper that's always changing color. So it's actually a live wallpaper that changes throughout the day, and it's really nice. I actually like it quite a bit. Unfortunately, I can't share it because it's not really the same wallpaper that will work on everybody's phone. But if you have a Pixel, you'll have this wallpaper. Now, everything else about this is really phenomenal, and there's only a couple reasons why I don't use this phone as my daily driver, aside from my iPhone. The camera is really second to none. The camera is incredibly good, incredibly fast. See, I just snapped pictures really quick there. No problem whatsoever. It's got great focus, and even the video is really pretty good. And I've actually recorded a couple of my iPhone videos using this camera, and you probably wouldn't know any better recording in 4K if you compared it side by side to the iPhone. The exposure and the way it does white balance and things are a little bit different, and that's not a bad thing. It's just how they do it with their algorithm, and all the photos turn out great. Using the phone overall is a great experience. It's always fast. Loading my web page here. It's loaded, not a big deal. It's on Wi-Fi, and I'm on Project Fi, so it switches, and you'll see it's always switching between different networks. I'm using this app to show what it's connecting to. So T-Mobile, Wi-Fi, Sprint, T-Mobile, back and forth. And you don't even know it. It just goes back and forth, and Project Fi is probably my favorite carrier. If I didn't have a great deal on T-Mobile with my iPhone, I'd be using Project Fi pretty much everywhere if I could, especially if it would work on iPhone the way it does on Pixel. But anyway, the phone itself, I know I don't use a lot of widgets. Some of you commented in the last Pixel video I did about some updates and how it's disturbing that I don't use any widgets. And the only widget I use is that Project Fi widget. I really don't like widgets, but I've got it set up similar to my iPhone as far as the way the folders are and my news and everything's laid out. And it's something that I just like. It's nice and clean and easy to use. Now, if there's widgets I should be using that you think look really good and everything, let me know in the comments below and maybe I'll check those out and see what it's like. But I haven't found any that I really want to use. The real question is, should you spend your hard-earned money, $800 plus, on this particular device? And the real answer to that is, if it's free, absolutely get it. no hesitation, get it if you're an Android person, you want to use it, or even if you're iPhone and you want to try it out, you won't be disappointed. They have a nice migration app utility that lets you move everything from an iPhone to here, and it brings even your texts, your pictures, everything right over to Android. The other thing with this particular phone is if it was $800 plus, you may want to consider the Nexus 6P. This is a great alternative, and the only disappointment you might have is this camera. The camera's good, it's just not as good as the Pixel. So if that's something that you want, the Pixel's absolutely worth getting, as it's pretty much the best camera on the market right now for photos. And when it comes to video, it's equal to the iPhone 7 Plus in many ways, and sometimes it's better. It just depends on your preference as far as exposure and things like that. I forgot to mention why I don't use this as my daily driver over my iPhone. And the main reason has to do with every one of my family members and friends actually has an iPhone. So using iMessage is a better experience. Also, when you're using things like FaceTime, I use that daily, so you can't use that on this device. There are nicer and somewhat better alternatives such as Google Duo, but everyone I know uses FaceTime, and we also use Find My Friends for my family, so it's just something that we use all the time, and it's hard to live without. It's a really great experience. It's definitely worth checking out if you haven't used one. They do have them at some Best Buy stores. I've seen them in the United States, and also some Verizon stores as well. So be sure to check them out before you consider anything else when it comes to Android, because this is Google's own deal with HTC to make the hardware, and it gets regular updates, just like an iPhone does, security patches, all sorts of things, and you don't have to wait. They're the first to get the updates to Android. So let me know what you think about the Pixel in the comments below. Have you used one? Do you prefer the Nexus, the older Nexus, because they're cheaper? Let us know in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.